Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Lawyer Interviews. I'm your host, Jeff Dillon, and today we are lucky to have Adam Oremland, aka the Law Bulldog. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you having me.
Great. Well, we need a top legal mind for what I would say is a very important legal case that is going across headlines on the internet.
Yeah, no, it's a real tailspin right here.
Well,
we're gonna have to flush it out.
Oh God. Okay. Well, if you're wondering what that pun is about, I'll give a quick breakdown of what this case is. We have the plaintiff of this lawsuit is suing a Dunkin Donuts for about $50,000 in Winter Park, Florida. And from reading a couple websites, what I've seen is this plaintiff walked into a Dunkin Donuts bathroom and had the toilet explode all over the guy. He gets covered in human excrement, freaks out, goes out into the Dunkin Donuts employees, tells them what's going on here, and they tell him, "Oh yeah, we were aware there was something wrong with the toilet." I guess this man goes to the hospital, incurs some medical bills, deals with some emotional and mental distress, which we can talk about, and here we are a year later, and he's suing them for only $50,000, which I thought was a low number. So, Adam, what do you think about this mess?
Well, I have my own thoughts about quote unquote frivolous lawsuits in general.
Okay,
but so I was looking up Florida statutes and just the law in general, and in order to sue for emotional distress or negligent infliction of emotional distress in Florida, there has to be some sort of a physical bodily injury claim. And I just don't see where he could have been injured unless he maybe slipped and fell on it after he was hit with it. I also kind of want to know how he was, why it exploded. Did he flush a toilet? And if so, was it his own excrement that he was sort of covered in? The whole thing is a little bit, there's a lot of questions here.
Yeah, no, so that is interesting. So in Florida, you can't you must have a physical injury.
There's a few exceptions to the rule, but not this doesn't qualify for any of them. I mean, the closest I found to an exception of the rule would be if there was some sort of bacterial or something in there that in the food that you ate, that you ingested. But this isn't your typical item that you'd order at Dunkin Donuts.
Yeah, I know. Something about the bathroom of a Dunkin Donuts made me think that this is not your typical bathroom waste. This could be maybe the worst bathroom waste. Maybe only a Taco Bell would be worse. I'm trying to think, right? Like,
well, I don't know. I know. I've heard of people blowing up bathrooms. I've just never heard of a bathroom blowing up on somebody.
Yep. I guess it backfired, but so it's a claim about negligence. And in this case, in the complaint, the lawyer who wrote it says that the plaintiff was lawfully on the premises, and that the Dunkin Donuts had breached its duty of care in three different instances, right? So it would be that they were not reasonable in maintaining the bathroom. They were not reasonable in warning the patron as he came in, and then I guess they weren't reasonable in inspecting and maintaining that they're. Maybe I'm repeating two of them, but so there are different levels of duty of care. What do you make of what did Dunkin Donuts owe people who go to their bathrooms?
Well, I mean, listen, you'd expect them to keep up some sort of normal standard of care for a bathroom. But in terms of, I mean, look, we've both gone to bathrooms that were subpar, just stopping by. And, I mean, Dunkin' Donuts doesn't strike me as a place that's going to have, the best possible care for it. It's like you said, it's basically like a trucker stop at this point. But then again, who knows? I mean, every Dunkin' Donuts is different. But you can't really, I can't imagine that a toilet that's blowing up on somebody is going to cause them such emotional distress that they're not able to. I mean, what does he claim, that he's not able to use the toilet anymore? that he's not able to go outside because of this. I mean, what are his damages other than having to take a shower and maybe some dry cleaning?
Okay. Well, Adam, you might be a very tough guy. But I think if I were covered in human shit, I don't know how I'd recover from that. It sounds like a pretty, it sounds to me pretty, just to argue the other way. Uh, what about just you did have to go to the hospital. I assume you're covered in the bacterial waste. There were medical bills and, yeah, you know, I'll put it this way. If I sell deal, I'll pay you $50,000 to get showered in bathroom waste. Would you take it?
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would definitely jump on that.
Oh,
I'm sure. I mean, listen, we're living in a different kind of world these days where people are doing far less for far more on open.
okay. Well, if you were the attorney for the plaintiff, how would you present this case?
Well, I mean, listen, you have to obviously present some sort of a bodily injury claim as part of this, and we don't have all the facts. But I mean, if the toilet seat flew up and hit him in the face, fine, all right, I give him that. If he slipped and fell after the fact and landed and hurt his knee or his back or something of that sort, I'll give him that. If it's just getting hit with the water or the waste, I don't know. It's a really tough one. I mean, it sounds like they're just throwing it out there and seeing if this can be tried in the opinion of the press and see if they're gonna just pay him off. But I don't know. It seems a little wild to me. I mean, they call it Dunkin Donuts, not Dumpin' Donuts, right? So.
Oh man. Oh wow, you're on fire. That's the second one. Okay. A couple things. One is you're mentioning they're trying to win this in the press. And I found it interesting because you don't hear about every lawsuit out there, but this was, if you Google this case, it comes up like 10 different Google hits. It's all the same thing. Do you think that as a lawyer, can you advocate for your client by making sure this is all over the internet and spread? Do you think that they have any role in that?
Oh yeah, no. Listen, if I were representing him, I would blow it up all over the press.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Because
Yeah.
it really, I mean, like I said, the more bad press they get, the more likely they are just going to say, you know what, take this and go away. But I actually read that he was suing for $100,000, not even 50. So I mean, either way, it still seems like a lot of money to pay for a toilet that malfunctioned. And we don't know how much of it, even covered him. We just know that he got hit with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that they had some sort of prior notice to it. I just don't know what the bodily injury portion of that is, and that's what I want to hear. I want to know what happened as a result of that in terms of an injury.
All right. Well, let's say he had his mouth open because he was so shocked. Unfortunately, swallowed some of it and was in the hospital for a week with a horrible infection.
Okay, I mean, if that's the case, then that to me would at least check that box.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, did he use the bathroom beforehand? Is it his own waste? Is it somebody else's? I mean, did he contribute to it by flushing the toilet himself? I don't know. It's all it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
A lot of questions.
Hey, the employees said, I feel like I'm connected to this guy emotionally for some reason, but
You've had some incidents, huh?
I don't know. Maybe it's just one of my darkest fears ever, but it's a dark matter. I don't want to talk about it, but
very dark, yeah.
But first of all, what does it matter that they put this in the complaint? I'm assuming for those listening, said the employees were aware there was a problem with the toilet. Why is that legally significant? If they were aware there was an issue with the toilet before?
Well, listen, if you have prior notice of some sort of a defect, then you have to cure that defect, particularly if you know that the general public is going to be in that vicinity. Otherwise, they could have that sort of an injury as a result of it. I mean, them saying that the toilet was on the fritz, I don't know if that's the same thing as the toilet doing what it did. If it's possible, if they knew that it had blown up before, then I think there's a lot more teeth to it. But if it's just a clogged toilet that needs to get snaked, then your guess is as good as mine. I mean, it's almost like, did they know that it was going to do that? Had somebody previously put a cherry bomb in there, and they just knew that the plumbing was off. I don't know.
Yep. So, in your personal experience, any can you top this story? Do you have any good law war stories that could compare here?
At the risk of violating attorney-client confidentiality, I will abstain. But there's plenty of funny things that come across my desk. Yeah.
Fair enough. All
I,
right.
I,
Okay.
I actually have like a wall of shame, not a wall, a hall of shame
Okay.
of potential claims that come through that are just beyond ridiculous. So I put them in a pile, and the attorneys in my firm, we all gather together, and we vote on whether or not it deserves to be in the hall of shame or just get rejected and thrown in the garbage.
So that's something to keep in mind. Yes, there's attorney-client privilege, but there's nothing against a lawyer laughing at you for what you present with them.
Well, listen, we all have a sense of humor. We're still human, right?
Very good. All right. Well, I don't know what other crap we can talk about with this, so I don't want to piss anyone off. Anyway, okay, those are mine. And I think we could put this to bed. I don't know. Not we could flush it down. What do you say?
We could definitely we should get rid of it. Let's send it out to the ocean real quick.
Yeah, hopefully. Awesome. All right. Well, Adam, it was great talking with you. Hopefully there will be more in the future because your insight was very useful.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and it's always fun to talk about funny things.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. Take care.